Hey everyone, it's John Corella, one of the co-creators and executive producer of Dance Moms. Well, I had this great, good conversation with Darius Hickman. He is straight off of the Beyonce Renaissance tour, as well as the Renaissance film featured in it. And I walked away feeling powerful, feeling really good just about being my authentic self. Him and I come from two different generations of people who dance, about 20 years apart. And we talk a lot about masculinity and femininity as someone who dances and the struggles with that in the dance community, as well as just in general in life. And so I know anyone is going to get something out of this, whether you're a straight man, whether you're a gay man, whether you're a woman or a young feminine boy. We also talk a lot about, of course, his amazing time on stage with the biggest star in the world right now, Beyonce, and just what that felt like. And then also about his training. So we kind of went everywhere, and I'm so happy and grateful that he came on. And just a reminder, if you want to see us on camera, you can always go to patreon.com, the only Dance Dad with John Corella, and see this amazing conversation as well as hear it. So please welcome to the stage, Darius Hickman. Okay, I am here and I'm feeling nervous, I can tell, but I am here with Darius Hickman, straight off of Beyonce, the talented, the bold, the fierce, the feminine, the masculine, all of it.
Love that. That was amazing. That was amazing. I love that. That was great.
Me too. And that's what I definitely drew me to you, because I saw the tour in Phoenix.
Amazing.
And that was unexpected. I'm originally from Phoenix. And then I saw it in LA. And I was the person that did not watch videos on YouTube. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to see it. I want my opinion. I want my drink.
Yeah.
I want to sit back. And
fresh lens.
Say that again.
A fresh lens.
Yeah. And as soon as I did see a couple sneak peeks, and you were in them, of course.
Okay, period.
So then when you came on stage, it felt really good. It felt really good to see someone dancing the way you were dancing. And so I'm excited. So with that, I do this with all the guests. I'm going to do it with you a little bit too. And I'll start off. So it's 4 questions. It's, how are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? What color is it? And what is it saying?
Oh, wow.
So, do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
You can go first. I'll go second.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a... So,
I love... By the way, I'm obsessed with that. That's amazing. Love that.
With what?
That question. That's just like that's an amazing question to start off with. Because I've actually been getting asked this a lot recently, and I feel like I can actually answer it now. So, yes.
Good. Yeah, because people always say, how are you? That's not really asking about how I'm feeling.
Right.
So when you say, how are you feeling? I do it on dates sometimes, or when I meet people, and it's a little jarring at first because they're like, how am I feeling? I'm like, yeah, how are you feeling?
Right.
You feeling good? You feeling bad? Tired? So I am feeling excited. A little bit, maybe it's nervousness, excitement. Maybe that's what it is. It is, of course, rhinestone, silver. Has to be silver if you're in front of me.
Yes.
And I feel it in my throat. And what is it saying? It's saying to celebrate you. So.
Oh, love it. Well, I'm feeling in this very moment excited as well, but I'm also feeling powerful. And I feel it in my hands and in my heart. And the color is definitely like blue, very light blue. airy.
Hmm.
And what's the other one? Is that it?
What is it saying?
What is it saying? Oh,
to you?
It's saying that I'm here and I'm present with all the things in my life. So yeah.
It's good to be present. Were you not always present in your life?
No, I think I had a really challenging upbringing. So I think for a long time I was in this place of trying to always escape the moment, if that makes sense, like trying to get out of the present moment and looking so far forward into the future to where I'm missing what's happening in the present. And I feel like I'm finally at a place where like I don't have to prove myself so much and I can just really enjoy the gift and the talents that I've been blessed with, and share them with people.
Well, you definitely shared them with probably a billion people.
Thank you. I'm trying to do a billion more, and just all over.
I know. It's always that. I know that feeling definitely of wanting to reach more people with our why, if that makes sense. That's kind of a thing that's been going. I don't know if you know. Did you watch Dance Moms?
I did. You know what's crazy? I was when we were on tour on my bus. In the back there's a TV, and every time we would finish the shows, we would get on the TV. Get on the bus. We would look at the TV screen, and it was always Dance Moms on. But we could never hear it because we could never figure out how to fix the sound. So we were just watching reruns of Dance Moms just on the screen every night after the shows. But yes, I'm very familiar with Dance Moms. Love Dance Moms.
There is do you know Lennon Torres from Dance Moms?
I don't.
And she was I call her Little Lennon, but was born Zachary on Dance Moms. So was a boy and transitioned to a woman recently. So I had her and her mom on. Her mom was on. They were on the Candy Apples team.
Okay, cool.
And so what I took from her podcast was, when you know your why, this is how I took it. You can deal with all the other crap.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a good way of, and what changed that? What made you more present now?
I think like you just said, like I figured out my why. Like I always knew that, I was an entertainer. Like I always was a class clown and just like always trying to make people laugh, or I was always dancing in the stores, just always just doing something as a kid, entertaining people. Just like I always wanted to be, I wouldn't necessarily say center of attention, but it just naturally happened that way. But I think I finally realized that like dancing is what I'm here to do. I've tried everything else and nothing else is as fulfilling, is as impactful, and all of these things. It's not the same as when I'm dancing. It's just it's a different feeling that I get, and it's a different feeling that people get from me. And so I think finally realizing that, it's put me in a space of calmness and acceptance, because it's a hard career, and I think I left college early to pursue it. So for a long time, I was like, is this the right thing to do? Like, I knew I was talented, but I was like, is this a smart decision to just like drop everything and try to pursue dancing as a career? Is that going to happen? And God and the universe has been showing me, it's possible. This is what you're supposed to be doing, and I'm going to make it happen for you. You just have to do your part. And that's what I've learned. And it's brought me so much peace.
Well, I feel a lot of peace from you.
Yeah, I'm in a really good space. I've been telling so many of my friends that. I just talked to my friend today from back home, and it's been a while since I had talked to her, and she was just like, you seem so light and you seem so like happy. And I'm like, I am. And that doesn't mean I'm not going through things and life isn't still happening, but I'm so blessed, and like there's so many other horrible things happening in the world. So I'm just grateful to have the things I have and to be where I am in life, because I could have definitely taken a different path and been in a different space.
Did you leave school before so you think you can dance, or after?
Um, during.
During. Okay.
I had auditioned in the middle of the semester.
Okay.
And they told me, if you go audition, we might, have to take your scholarship away because, there's other students, there and who want to come here. And I was there on a full ride. So I felt conflicted because I was definitely doing a totally different style of dancing. I was doing mostly ballet in school. So it was definitely a different pace for me. And I did want to have a career in ballet for a long time. So I was definitely taking the right steps to get there. But when this opportunity presented itself, I said, I can't just say no. You know what I mean? And my mom was very supportive as well. So I ended up telling the dean that I was going to audition. He told me he might have to take my scholarship away, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, that's fine. Like, hopefully I do well on the show. And that's what happened. I ended up doing decent and I went on tour with the show and I was like, okay, I'm just going to move to LA and try it out, And that's how we ended up here.
And then I feel as though, unfortunately, a pandemic hit probably right when you moved.
It was insane. It was like I moved and for maybe 6 months, I didn't have any work. Like it was nothing really happening. I was just kind of settling into LA, taking classes. And then I booked, I booked Beyonce actually. It was a Spirit music video. A lot of people don't know this, but I booked Beyonce like, I think this was 2019 or 18 maybe.
2019. I love that song because it came out around with the Lion King soundtrack, correct?
Yes. So I ended up booking that out of nowhere. It was insane. It was like kind of like my first real job into the industry. And so I did. It was insane. I was like, she came in the room and I was like, wait, whoa. So that was kind of like my introduction into that. And then maybe 2 days later, I had another audition for a tour with Melanie Martinez. And so I ended up booking that as well. And it was kind of like a double whammy. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I had just moved to LA, booked the little Beyonce music video, and then booked a tour like a few days later. So then I went on tour. And it was pretty good. Everything was great. And then the pandemic happened. So we kind of had to end the tour a little bit early. And I ended up moving back to Florida.
And I missed that.
2 years.
Is that where you're from Florida?
Yes.
Oh, my ex-boyfriend, he's from Florida, from Pensacola.
Oh, nice. I'm from West Palm Beach.
I'm assuming. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm assuming it's on the west side.
Yeah. But like, no, actually, it's
okay
on the southeast side.
Okay, yeah, right? I haven't been to Florida in so long.
Closer to Miami.
Okay. Well, you said you've got this feeling of. You said you talked about feeling. I heard you say feeling, and you're present, and rather than thinking. Thinking isn't feeling. Thinking takes us out of our feeling. I know everyone listening is going to want to know, what was it like? What did it feel like to dance, perform on that stage with Beyonce, one of the greatest performers of all time?
I honestly have still yet to wrap my feelings up in a cute bow, because it's just still so surreal for me. I think this was such a big goal of mine for a really long time. I think if as a commercial dancer, a lot of people, want to dance with major artists. So that's, I think, a big goal for a lot of people. So for me, I didn't think it would happen so soon. So I think it's just taken me a lot to like still even process that I've done it. But in the moment,
Yes,
Yeah.
in the moment.
In the moment, it feels right. It feels right. It doesn't feel surreal. It doesn't feel um out of the ordinary. It feels just right. It feels like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here in this moment. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a cocky statement. It's more of like the universe's timing was just perfect for me. Like, I would not have seen myself dancing with Beyonce a few years back, you know? This era that she's in now, for me personally, as an outsider looking in, I feel like she's in a new era, and she's inviting new people in and trying to, you know, just show this different light for so many different types of people. And so for me, I'm one of those people that, like, I have a lot to say, and so I think in a in lamest terms, she felt that energy from me. You know what I mean? So it's like I felt like I was just at the right place at the right time.
Well, and that's probably very similar energy to her
Yeah.
being as a performer. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, she's Beyonce, but she's a human being, everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
and we tap into something bigger than us.
Yes.
She does it while she sings and
Yep.
dances, and
Yep.
you do it while you're dancing.
Exactly.
I used to do it while I was dancing. So it's all kind of connected. It's not.
Exactly.
And did you feel, it sounded as though you were really present on stage in front of 95,000 people.
Absolutely. You have to be, though. You know, you have to be in those type of super high anxiety type of situations where anything can happen. You have to be extremely present. You know, I can't be thinking about what I'm going to be having for dinner later. That's not logical in this moment, because, you know, the sound could go out, or the lights could go out. And it's like, what do you do then? You know, if you're thinking about what's happening next Sunday, you know? So I definitely think I had to learn that. I've always been a present dancer, but this tour really taught me, and her, you know, being around her and experiencing her work ethic, it really taught me to, yeah, be present. Like, and be prepared, be present and be prepared, because anything can happen. You never know. And that's what makes a true professional, who can, you know, keep the show going, and keep the people entertained, you know, no matter what.
Well, you definitely did that, and she did that. And I was there when the sound went out.
Exactly. I was going to say, that was in Arizona, right? You were there.
Yes.
So, and we were like, you know, people tried to say it was planned and all these things. I'm like, you really think she would plan something like that? You know what I mean? Like, she would want her stage to go out? Of course not, you know? So, like, it's just to show you that, like, it's real, you know, like, anything could happen, but it's like, professionals, you got to be ready. We kept dancing, you know?
Were you on the stage when it stopped?
I was actually about to come on stage. Like, I was taking steps to go on stage.
And did that ever happen, whether it would be a rehearsal or?
No, never, ever.
I was sitting next to this girl, you know, I was raised in Arizona, but it was a really special day because I had just found out my mom was cancer free.
Oh my God, so, amazing.
Yes, it was amazing. So I got tickets, took my cousin. But when that happened, this girl next to me, she's like, of course it would happen in Arizona. She was so bitter that she was like, of course, our Phoenix, like, Arizona, it's going to happen here.
Like, no.
But
that actually was one of our, like, for me, that was one of my best shows too, still, like, just energy wise, like, it was like even more so, like, we had to even give more of a show after that happened. You know what I mean? And people were even more excited once everything started back up again. And, you know, she came out in the new outfit. Everybody was like, oh my God, you know? So for me, it was like the energy that night was really nice. I enjoyed that night in Arizona. It was cool.
It was great. It was really good. Now, how do you, so it sounds as though you've taken that being in the moment present to today, to being here in this interview. When you said the word anxious, because I'm sure some dancers are listening, and I do still perform when I act.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have my freak out moments. What keeps you present what helps you to get present when you're feeling anxious before you go on,
Mm.
an arena of 95,000 people?
I think what helps me, I think remembering, again, back to remembering I'm in the right place at the right time. I think a lot of the times when you start second guessing yourself, that's when the anxious and it's like, am I going to do this right? Or am I going to nail this? Or, is my costume like going to fall apart? It's like when you start to like put that fear out there, it starts to kind of project back. And so I've really been trying to remind myself that you're okay, and that you were training all your whole life to do this moment. You're training your whole life to be on stage in front of all these people, you're training in the studios in front of a camera to be in front of these HD and 6,000 cameras and all of these things. You're training in your everyday life for this moment. So like, don't start doubting yourself now that the moment is here.
Darius, I'm a lover of boldness, and you are bold.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel a lot of fear?
I do. I mean, in terms of what, I fear not being able to dance anymore.
Well, I think your boldness is you said something I saw the film Renaissance, and you said something that caught my eye about femininity and masculinity, where I don't, and maybe you are, maybe this is a good lesson when you come out on stage, in Crazy in Love and Pure Honey.
Right.
I don't feel that you're fearful in dancing feminine, looking feminine. And that in this day and age, can scare a lot of people.
Yes. Well, I totally understand what you're saying. I think for me, I've gotten to a point in my life where I know who I am. Just simple as that. Like, I know that I have these super masculine qualities, and I know I have these super feminine qualities, and I know that I like them both. I know that I have power in them both, and people appreciate them both. So for me, when I'm getting these opportunities to step into both, which doesn't happen often, as a dancer, it's like you have to be either hyperly masculine or hyperly feminine. It's like two categories. That's it, So for me to get that opportunity to do both on that type of platform, I was like, you can't be scared. This is what I've been waiting for. And then now I can show people that it's possible to do it with your favorite artist. Your favorite artist is also seeing that you can be whatever and be confident in that, and people can accept that, So yeah,
were you always like that? Were you always so loving to the feminine side and the masculine side in you?
No, I think I was trying to figure it out. I think in middle school and high school, I tried to, well, definitely in high school, I was hinting at it. I was trying to figure out what exactly that looked like for me. So I would wear my mom's blouses sometimes to school. And I was already out and everything, but I was actually wearing girl clothes and like, trying to style it nicely and wearing blouses and like little tight pants. And like, maybe I never really wore makeup in school, but I would sometimes do a little highlighter. Maybe I'll put in some just more feminine things. And so I was trying to figure it out, and I never felt comfortable one way, if that makes sense.
And who made you? Well, why? Speaking of why, why did you feel safe to do that? Was it your mother? Was it your school you went to? Was it your friends? What made you feel safe to do that? To explore that?
My mother, for sure. My mother was always very encouraging. She's also an Aquarius like me, so she understands my need for exploration.
Mm-hmm.
My school also helped me with that. I went to a lot of performing arts schools. I went to performing arts middle school and a performing arts high school.
Oh, wow.
So I had so many different types of people around me. And just people in general also helped that, you know, looking at people, different styles. We had a lot of visual artists. We had a lot of vocalists. We had a lot of theater kids. So we had quiet people, loud people, you know, like it was just so many different types of energies, like super coy people, super like, you know, just all types. So I think I also took a little bit from everybody to figure out what I like, and I figure out I like it all. You know what I mean? So like, and I can be it all because as humans, we're not, you know, what's the word? One faceted. We're multifaceted people, or
We all have,
whatever.
I say parts.
You know?
Yeah, we all have different parts, and
And I think we should be able to explore that, and you know, not feel ashamed. Like especially I feel like being a gay man. I think that's the beauty for me in being gay. I can explore both of those sides of myself and make them equal and pull from both to help me be a better person, you know?
You know, I didn't watch a lot of So You Think You Can Dance, but when after seeing you and Beyonce, somebody told me you were in So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
So I Googled and I saw the one where you wore makeup.
Yes.
And it was with a girl. I wish it would have been with a guy.
You know what's crazy? And it's crazy that was foreshadowing my future.
So, and this could just be me. You know, I'm in my 40s. I danced in the 90s. You had to hide technique in LA and you had to hide femininity.
Right.
So it created this weird shame, actually. A little bit of shame, you know, even if you were not, even though there was a lot of gay men that danced.
But the look was completely different. Like they wanted you to be that macho mask behind the artist. You know, you couldn't show those levels and those sides of you for sure. I'm aware of this.
But it does sound as though because you said sometimes you have to be hyper masculine when you dance and sometimes you have to be hyper feminine. So do you feel there's this old way pushing into this new way, or has it fully changed to, you know, you just be who you are and we'll...
Oh no. It's still the old pushing in to the new. But I think people are realizing that the new is more powerful. You can reach more people with the new. More people relate to what's the new. More people relate to these different versions and different facets of themselves. Like, you know, especially with just simple grooming, you know what I mean? Men getting their nails done and things like that. Like people that should be common. Like you should want to be groomed and, you know, take care of yourself, you know? So like, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's feminine, you know? So I think it's slowly, I think it is changing slowly, but we're still nowhere near there. And I think that's why Beyonce did something like the Renaissance to kind of really push that forward and try to, you know, because she's a trendsetter, let's be real. And she, you know, has a lot of pull in the culture. So I think she's helping us out in that way of like showing people that like there's so many different types of people, like, you know, especially in the industry, it's like, and we all are great, you know, and we can all work together and create something magical.
You know, again, it's definitely inspiring, Darius, you know, that you rest in it, you own it, because I'm sure you get a lot of, I mean, I would assume you're on social media or in media, people can act really mean and hurtful.
Yeah, for sure. You know, for me, I honestly, I don't know if it's the delusion in me, but I don't, I tend to not see too many hateful things about me. And I don't know if that's because I don't go looking for it, especially anymore. I'm like, I just post my content and go, you know,
Mm-hmm.
especially I'm not fixated on what people are saying because I know at the end of the day, it's my art and it's art. So I just want to put out art. That's what I'm doing. It's not for really anybody's critique or opinion, but people are going to have that when you put things out for, on social media. So I've kind of accepted all of that. And I'm like, okay, well, if I don't want to get hurt, I'm just not going to look. So I'll
Well, and
share.
when you're
Mm-hmm.
present, you can't
You
get
don't.
hurt
Exactly. Exactly. And you
because
know that
you're.
this is you're standing in your power right now, and this is your truth, and this is the space that you belong in. Nobody can hurt you. It's like I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. There's nothing you can say that's gonna shift my focus.
I know you inspired. I know a lot of gay men loved seeing themselves on the stage
Yeah,
finally. I think
yeah,
there was that. But I
for
also know
sure.
that you inspired, you know, femininity has nothing to do with sexuality, FYI.
Right.
So I know you inspired a lot of young boys
Mm-hmm.
to be okay being feminine.
Literally.
I heard this quote once. Do you know who Bell Hooks is?
Bell Hooks. That sounds really familiar. Dancer?
She no. She is maybe they're oh, you're thinking of Galen Hooks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Galen Hooks. I was like, why does Hooks sound so familiar?
Yeah,
Got
you're thinking of
it.
Galen Hooks, who
Got it.
I know
Bell
for a
Hooks.
long time from
Love
Dancing with
Galen Hooks.
Marguerite. Bell
Beautiful.
Hooks is a writer. She wrote a lot
Okay.
of books. She wrote this book called Will to Change, and she passed away, unfortunately. So everyone, if you get a chance, read this book. It's about masculinity in men. And she says
Mm.
the thing that scares men the most in society is young feminine boys.
Mm.
If you bring in a young feminine boy in a room with older
Yes.
straight men, they get extremely uncomfortable.
Yes.
So it's not even the sexuality at times, it's the femininity that
But
I
why
feel.
is that?
Because, I mean, that's a deep, I don't even know if I'm
why
able to go there in my mind.
I feel it's sad because I feel like that's why a lot of people don't come out. So, that's why a lot of people wait to come out. And that's why a lot of, people don't feel like they have I don't know. It's so deep, but
It
I
is.
wonder what that reason is because
It's more of the patriarchy. I mean, that's what she says. It's about the patriarchy of men, and it's actually tied more to women, believe it or not. So when you see a man having woman traits, it's like you are so outside of what we're supposed to be.
For me, I think that's what's connected me to women, though. My femininity is what's helped me connect to women, and I naturally have a masculine energy in me, being a male, right? So because I was able to tap into this feminine side of me, I've been able to really kind of just, not to say I have it all figured out. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying I've really been able to kind of learn that balance of when to be dominant and when to kind of, be submissive. And I'm able to really understand that a little bit more because I've tapped into that femininity side of that femininity. And I don't know. I think it's just it's served me good more than bad. I will say that.
And what was that line you said in Renaissance? Do you remember about femininity and masculinity?
Well, I was just saying that I think I said something along the lines of that you can just be both and you don't have to be limited to just one, really. That was the basis of what I said. Again, being on Renaissance, I was able to, again, get into the crazy in love and then go into the savage with the boys or my power with the boys. and then go back into Move with the girls. And then I was really able to step into both of those feelings. And
that's amazing. I didn't know you were in Savage. I'm going to have to watch it again when it comes out.
I was in all the boys stuff that with the girls. I was in everything that the boys were in, I was in. And then if not, I was with the girls. So it's like, I was really that kind of in the middle. You can do whatever, you just have to like, and especially if you can drop all your walls and allow yourself to go there, you'll be surprised with what you can, come out with.
And, I it doesn't even have to be the dancers on Beyonce either.
Mm-hmm.
When I did, and there was, I want to talk about the dolls too, because later, but how that was formed. But do you ever find out that your femininity and masculinity makes those other male dancers who are only hyper masculine uncomfortable?
I think at first, yes. I think at first it definitely can be, whoa. But I think once people realize, especially if it's authentic to you, once people realize that like, oh, well, you can hang with the guys and oh, you also can hang with the girls, and realize that you're just this big melting pot type of person, people accept that, and that was what happened with me. It's like, I could rehearse with the girls and do all the, and then I was back with the boys, chilling with the boys, like, making jokes and like picking on the boys, but I still also had this femininity side because that's just who I am. So it's just once people realize that that's you, they accept that, and like, I feel like I feel like people start to kind of look at it a little sideways once you start to do it over the top and you start to kind of,
rub it in their face.
I'm not a rub it in your face person. This is just me naturally. Sometimes I wake up and I'm feeling really cute. So I'm giving here, it's giving like whatever. Sometimes I wake up, I don't have a haircut, I'm looking a little rough, the beard's growing in, blah, blah, blah. So I might give you a more masculine approach. I might be feeling more like dude-ish vibe because I'm looking a little bit more rough around the edges that day. Like it literally just depends, And I think once people, can accept that and authentically give that too, then people will accept you all over. They won't care.
Does that happen when you dance too? Like some days you wake up feeling, oh, I want to dance harder today, or and today I want to be a little bit more softer and feminine.
Absolutely. And I think I definitely have created this lane for myself though, which I've kind of had to kind of exude this femininity, especially teaching heels. So I really have been trying to find those moments where I can bring that masculinity back out. So I do hip hop classes, or I'll just, session with my friends at the studio just so I can feel that energy because I need that. And that it makes my heels dancing better when I tap into that masculinity stuff. You know what I mean? It just makes, and on both sides, it makes that much more, it just makes it better. It just makes it better. It enhances it almost, because I can pull from so many different places.
You should write a book on masculinity and femininity.
Oh my gosh, I know.
No, because I think it comes very, you really accept it,
Yeah.
I'm going to contribute that too. It sounds as though your upbringing with your mother, your schooling, because mine was different. I grew up in a Christian home, evangelical. So then being thrown into dancing, it was like, well, you're going to dance, but you got to dance like a guy. I mean, I would even have dance teachers say that. So how old were you when you first started dancing?
I was about 12 years old.
And where did you start taking?
So I actually went to a performance. It was a hip hop performance. And my godmother had taken me, and I said, I just saw the girls performing up there. I saw the girls dancing, and I was like, oh my God, I need to do that. And so she signed me up a few weeks later. I ended up starting hip hop classes, you know, dancing. It was kind of like a local recreational hip hop team. And we kind of like did performances at the state fair. We would do like local competitions in Miami or whatever, but like mostly hip hop based. But the owner, was experienced. He had like technique background, and he had went to a technique school. His sisters had went to this school as well. And he told me about the school. He told my mom about the school, and she ended up, we ended up auditioning for the school. I had no training. I just kind of, he made me a solo. It was like a minute solo. I wore gym shorts to the audition, like had no idea like what was happening. But I knew I just wanted to dance and do more because I had started doing hip hop, fell in love with it. But then I saw there was other styles that I didn't know about, like the ballet and the jazz. In the contemporary, I wasn't familiar with those styles because I had just started, you know, bucking and being crazy. So once he told me about that, I wanted to go to that school, auditioned for the school, made it into the school. That was Bach Middle School of the Arts. And that's kind of where my dance training really started because we were taking ballet and contemporary and jazz fully. And then I did that 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then kind of once I got into 8th grade, once I was going into high school, I realized I needed a little bit more technique. So I started going to ballet summer intensives. And so the first one I went to was the Herod Conservatory, which was in Boca Raton. It's like this really strict Vaganova ballet school.
Look at you, there. Vaganova, throwing out words like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all in it. And so I went there and really was like picking up on my training. And then I started then I auditioned for the high school, got into the high school, and just started training more. And then I went to an outside studio, started going to an outside studio as well. So I was doing a hip hop outside studio and going to school for dance. Like I was literally just dancing. And then I ended up stopped doing the hip hop and then just focusing on the technical stuff. And then, just kind of built from there.
How did you fall in love with dancing after your first class? What did it for you?
Because I wasn't good at it. And I was like, I need to be good at this. That's what really made me that's what really stuck it for me. It was like, and that's what still keeps me in it right now. And that's what keeps me so versatile as a dancer, because I really want to learn everything. I really want to be experienced in everything. So I was like, oh my God, there's this thing called ballet that I have no idea what's going on. I need to know, and then I was horrible at it. So I was like, oh, I need to do this a lot more to get good at it. And so it gave me a lot of discipline too, so I was like, I was so focused, and it brought a lot of focus to me. So I was like, this is what I needed. It was exactly what I needed. Because again, I did have like I said, a rough upbringing as a child, like a toddler kind of growing up. It was really rough for me. So I needed an escape. I needed something to discipline me and like kind of ground me a little bit and give me some focus, because I felt very out of place in the world and very not wanted. So dance definitely helped me like focus all my energy on it, like on one thing at least,
Would you say dance saved your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's kind of cliche because a lot of people say that, but for me personally, I think it did. I definitely wouldn't be the person I am if I wasn't dancing, like honestly and truly. So it's taught me a lot about myself and just about life.
And the older I get, the more I realized how much dance saved me, whether it was the girls in my dance class, that were so accepting, or just how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh my gosh. I'll be 25 next month.
Baby.
I know.
You're like, I know.
I feel like I've lived like 3 lives though, which is insane.
I forgot what I was going to say, but definitely, no, you are a baby. You probably will realize it more. Well, you have a strong voice for 25 too. You got your meaning like you have a point of view.
Yeah. Again, it was rough. It was rough. Like my mom was accepting, yes, but doesn't mean life was great. You know what I mean? So
what do you have to say to those? Because you know a lot of, I mean, I've said this before on the podcast, but behind here I have my why is, you know, little John Johns. That's what they used to call me. So like, there's me, little John.
Yes.
There's this little, you know, there's these. Well, unfortunately, there's these pictures of these young feminine boys who killed themselves for coming out. So I do like having, because unfortunately they don't go the route that you and I did. They don't have the support. So what would you say to those who don't have the support and who want to dance and who are feminine and who want to be bold like you and are younger?
The only thing stopping you from getting there is you. You know, I think we have to take control of our own lives. And that's what I've realized. It's like, if I want these things and I want to be accepted for these things, I kind of have to make that happen for me. And I'm not going to stop until people see that and people accept that, you know, because we all have that space and that opportunity to be whatever we want to be. So why should I feel like I can't be accepted for being this or being that? And you really have to change your mindset, and sometimes you might not have the support, but that doesn't mean it doesn't need to happen for you. You know, you don't always have to make it somewhere with a whole group of people behind you. Sometimes you need to let everybody go in order to make it, and then be like, okay, I can pull you back up now. You know, I can pull you back up here with me now. I just had to focus and really get myself to where I needed to go, because I know the message I'm trying to convey. I know whatever. I've learned that sometimes you have to let people go, and that even, you know, close relationships back home, even with certain family members as well. You know, sometimes, I mean, I've realized now I've had to not talk to people as much, you know, or not be as connected or as involved, because if I do, I'm gonna get off track and lose focus of what I really want. And it's like, I have to prioritize that if I want a better life, you know? Because nobody's living my life for me. Exactly. Boundaries.
Yeah.
And nobody's living my life for me. So I have to do the things I want to do. And that's going to fulfill me at the end of the day, you know?
You are way more mature than I was at 25.
Oh my gosh.
I was a little, you know, I shouldn't say that, but it was different. You know, I will say it was, it's weird because there was a moment when it wasn't, like when I saw Truth or Dare with Madonna in the 90s. There was a little gap of like, wow, these guys are fierce and bold and they're like in your face. They don't care. And then that was it. So I hope that all these artists, Beyonce, I keep saying Tate McRae because she used to compete and dance.
Yeah, Tate McRae. I know. And you know, I'm like,
all these other artists you can have all of it. It's not one or the other. And you know what? This is my belief too. We did it the other way, the hyper masculine. Come on, let it be. Just give us 5 years.
Exactly. And I'm like, to be honest, it's also like that. The feminine boys and the you know, the people who also exude both. This is what's keeping the girls entertained. This is what's pushing culture forward. You know what I mean? The gay boys and all that stuff. That's what's, or the feminine guys. That's what's keeping culture alive. You know what I mean? All the words and all the sayings and all the mannerisms, all the this and all the things and da. That's us. So it's like, and everybody wants to do it. So why not accept it and keep it going. Don't tear it down and you just like it from behind the screens. You know what I mean?
Have you ever not gotten a job because you danced feminine?
Absolutely. There's been a lot of things I felt like I haven't gotten because of being who I am. But with that being said, the things I have gotten have been literally perfect for me. While I'm thinking the other ones are perfect, you know, I'm thinking that the other ones are going to be the ones. And this is perfect for me. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. When in all hindsight, it's something even better, you know?
It doesn't sound like you sacrifice who you are.
I can't, because I've been fortunate enough to be blessed with these opportunities that are so major, and things that I've literally have written down and written about. They're coming to fruition by me being who I am. So I'm like, if I let any inch of that go, babe, you know, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose focus. Like, my track is here. As soon as I start trying to see what the girls are doing over here and trying to do what the girls are doing in my rearview mirror and trying to see who's behind, it's not going to work. I'm going to crash. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. So by being who you are, you're actually, it's coming in fruition.
Absolutely.
Your dreams.
Absolutely.
Did it take, well, for you, it went a little quick, because it sounds like it, because you, right after So You Think You Can Dance, which I did not know you had that technique, Darius.
Oh, I really wanted to be I wanted to be a Trina. Like, I really was like, I wanted to be an ABT, like,
you still
Alonzo
could be.
Alonzo King lines. Like, I'm like, don't put it, you know, still possible. But yeah, I want to do it all. Like, I really want to do it all. And that's what, because I did ballet and stuff for so long, I was like, okay, let me try this commercial step and see if I can do this as well. And so that's kind of,
so what else do you want to do? You've talked about, you want to do it all. What else is in your vision? Do you feel in your heart you would like to do?
I think I would love to do Broadway. I think I would love to step into that world, because I love acting. I think acting is such an amazing art form. And I think that's a skill that I would really enjoy learning. And
you already have the voice for it. You already have the point of view.
And I also feel like I'm just already a character in itself. So I'm like, I just need to like hone in those talents and like really get the training. But so I would love to do Broadway and do like, go back into that kind of concert-esque world with that, and do movies and stuff. Like, I just really want to be on the screens and be an entertainer. As far as dancing things go, I would love to start, you know, doing movement direction and movement choreography for artists and things like that, transitioning out of the dancing and more of the putting my steps on the girls, because, you know, I do have a lot in the brain and a lot to, you know, develop. So I would love to end up doing that as well. But again, just all around entertainer, you know. I don't know if singing is in my, you know, future, but if that ends up happening too, you know, maybe I get the vocal cords great and start singing.
You know what I was
too.
saying to someone, because I want to encourage you to sing.
Okay.
And I was saying this is, somebody said something about, you know, when you're with a female pop star, gay men don't want to see feminine guys dancing. Somebody said this. And so let me refer, and that person was from the older generation. So we were taught really hardcore not to be feminine. I mean, seriously, really
quick.
What I said was, what I love about this is, hey, when I used to dance for Toni Braxton, I didn't want to have sex with Toni Braxton, but I had to act like it.
Right.
So what I think, and so that was hurting me as someone who dances. I want to be able to tell my story. I'm not saying you can't dance. Yes, you are acting, but at the end of the day, there needs to be more gay pop stars.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Because then I'm going to be masculine, but then I'm going to be feminine. If we're telling that story between, so that was the interesting part. So I want to encourage you to, I will be a gay pop star.
I would love to, you know, like, and be like the one. Like, I really want to. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it all. It's gonna be great. But I really want to do it all. I have no limits on myself right now. So,
and what are you?
Entertainment.
Did you take? I hope you did. Did you take a little break after Renaissance?
You know, I did. I took 2 months. I did take 2 months to regroup. But we're back at it. I'm back working. I'm back, on the grind and back doing the things. So I can never stay still for too long. I go into a depression, and I need to feel productive. I need to feel like I'm doing something. Because time is precious, and there's just so many things happening in the world and things like that. I'm learning more. I'm sorry, words, Darius. I'm learning now to appreciate the things I've been given more and just like appreciate my moments more. I am learning that. So I've been taking my time and like really processing the tour and processing, the things that I've done. But I'm also like, all right, let's keep it going and let's keep working because I don't want to become stagnant. I don't want to, end up in a bad place like I was, or things like that. So I just want to keep growing and keep elevating. So I have to keep, pushing and keep fighting and keep growing,
So when you say a bad place, do you mean before you started to dance?
No, during dancing as well. Like
okay.
In the beginning of my career, just like trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And still like, it sounds like getting these jobs are like, they're major jobs, right? But consistency is key for me.
And what does consistency look like to you? Because to me, consistency is being present. So if you're at home resting, you're present, you're enjoying that. You're on stage with Beyonce doing Alien Superstar. Yes. You're present. You're in the tour bus.
That's my takeaway. That's what I need to learn. Right.
Because I want you to know when you are on that break, it could be a dancer thing because I used to struggle with this because we're doers and we move, we use our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not moving, you're enough.
Right.
And you've already done so much.
Right. Yes.
Even if you didn't, you don't even need to do that stuff, people listening.
Right. Right.
When we feel like enough, we create more. It's like a catch-22.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're like, well, I'm happy on the couch or I'm happy on the stage.
Right.
And people feel that but we're not doing it for our self-worth. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I used to do that. And so that would be a little bit of my 40-year-old advice.
And I think that's amazing I think I need to hear that for sure too. And it's a constant reminder, like I said, to again, enjoy my moments, and enjoy those moments. And like you said, just be present, being present in everything, not just the on stage,
Because one day it will end.
Exactly.
As you get older, our bodies run down.
Exactly.
And we're allowed to be happy then too.
I'm not going to be able to twirl and buy, and I need to still be like, I'm great, So I think, I'm also finding my place without dance, and finding what that is. And I think that's where this whole masculinity and femininity thing come in.
Write a book, I'm telling you.
It just happens to be through dance right now. But
definitely. So I brought all of you all up prior. So tell me, how did the dolls get formed?
Oh my gosh. I honestly don't even know the full story. Like I really don't know. I think it was just something that was just kind of, we were playing around with it. I think it was something that was kind of always being said on sets and in rehearsals. Like, it's a kind of a gay type of, slang anyway. And so I think just from us saying it around rehearsals, the doll coming in and like, people addressing us like, oh my God, there's the doll. Like, it's just like, just by just being funny, I think it kind of stuck. It was a thing that like, it kind of sounds good. And I think it just stuck with her. And I think she was just like, one day she was like, after, we were walking around the stadium doing bows, she said, the doll, give it up for the dolls. Like after, after one of the shows.
Who said that?
Oh, Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
Like, to stick the name. So I was like, oh, I guess that's our name. We're the dolls, So it just stuck like that.
Maybe that's the girl or the doll group.
The doll group. Yeah.
Singing.
Yeah.
I'd go
I
see.
mean, my that's my thing. My thing is the doll. So it's definitely something that could be in the works.
I thought you all were formed prior. See?
Really?
Yeah. I thought this was a New York thing.
No. Oh my gosh. No, it just kind of happened over time. Like when we all just kind of been together and hanging out, different people saying it. And then, it's just like the words kind of become an infection and then everybody starts saying it. And then it kind of just stuck. Everybody was like, okay, they're the dolls, And like I said, I'm such a character. So like, when I'm saying the doll, I'm like, I'm saying it. So I'm saying it every time. Like, I'm like, the doll is here. I'm like saying it so the girls know this is what it is. So
somebody I used to teach actually joined the tour, I think maybe in Phoenix, but Autumn Miller. I think she joined.
Oh my God, yes. Love Autumn.
When she was little itty bitty. Little 8-year-old, 9-year-old. Autumn.
I know, it's crazy. And like, it's some of these people too, even going on tour with it, like I've seen some of these people online, and just like, it's crazy to like have shared the stage with them. And I'm like, that's what also made me realize, okay, you're right where you need to be. You know what I mean? Don't doubt yourself. Like you shouldn't have any fear because you wouldn't be here if you weren't ready,
Yes, you definitely owned that stage. I'm sure people
I'm like, that's, yeah, I miss it.
Yeah. I used to dance with her mother. I don't know if you met her mom. If she ever came. I used to dance. We danced professionally together. Yeah. And ironically, they were when I presented Dance Moms, they were the original group. Have you ever worked with Maddie Ziegler?
No, I have not. I have never worked with her.
She's will.
She's more in her like modeling era vibes right now, which I'm also trying to do as well. Like her modeling, acting era.
Are you doing any modeling? Has Beyonce used you? Has she used you for anything?
No, but I am trying to get into modeling. That is something I am passionate about as well. Just like I literally, I don't know what it is about me, and I just love art. Like I just love creativity and being creative. I think that's just what feeds my soul and keeps me out of trouble and keeps me, focused on just like the right things in life. So yeah, I'm trying to do it all. I love modeling. I would love to get into that as well, but I think soon. I don't know in what capacity just yet, but soon. I've been talking to some people to manage me, so we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will.
Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
I'm trying to be like Sue on the poster boards, like in like a athletic top or something, with Adidas or Nike or whoever, So
you want that kind of modeling?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to like be Or
the Olympics are coming up, so
or I'm here like on the catwalk. It doesn't matter to me, Whichever
I love
one.
it. Keep doing, keep being what you're being.
Yes, being what
Not
you're being. Not doing what
you're doing. Keep being what you're being.
Thank you.
You will have you'll be happy whatever you do. And
yes.
I thank you so much for coming on here. And this is the first season of it. And
oh my God,
I was so excited. And we just had Laganja on.
Love Laganja.
She grew up competitive dancing. So we talked a little.
Did say thing together.
You did?
Yeah, like we did say a thing together. I think that was the season I made it on there. She was, that was.
Oh my gosh! Ironically, you're going to be the episode after her.
Oh my God! So
I didn't
cool.
even see how.
We're friends and everything. Love Laganja. Down.
So how I end this is with kind of a rapid fire. Just go off of your instincts. I think I'm going to add one on because you said something, a question. Okay. I want to know the answer, but go off your instincts. Be in the moment. Okay. Don't overthink it. And okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
I got to work my back. Okay. Who's your favorite dancer?
Myself.
Favorite choreographer?
My favorite choreographer. Christopher Grant.
Favorite dance movie?
Save the Last Dance.
Favorite style of dance?
Ooh, I can't pick one.
Okay. I'll accept that answer.
I can't pick one. I can pick three.
Pick three. Oh, you can do whatever you want, Darius.
Actually, no. I can pick one. Ballet.
Okay.
Yes.
Favorite Broadway show?
Wicked.
If you could compete a solo, what would it be?
Oh, I'd probably do contemporary solo. I'd probably do a contemporary solo for sure. 100%.
Have any songs picked out?
I don't have any songs, but I would do you know Olaf Arnolds?
I don't, but I want to go listen now.
You have to know Olaf Arnolds. It's like I forget a specific song right now, like title, I can't think of it, but it's very competition. Like if you hear it, you'll know. Like or like anything Son Lux.
Okay.
For sure. Like I think is it by Son Lux? I don't know, but anything by Son Lux, I'll do.
So you could whip out some Alice Cones and do a
for sure. I actually it's crazy. I didn't even think I still had it in me, and I just did a video yesterday with my friend she still does like technique and stuff like that, and she made me like do second turns and aerials and tilts and girl like just had me flying all over the dance studio, and I was like, I forgot I could do this.
I love it.
Definitely contemporary style for sure. That's my vibe.
What's one of the boldest things you've done?
Be myself. Being myself is the hardest thing. Being yourself is the hardest thing you could do. Authentically and not caring if people accept it or not, and still just going forward in that and knowing that, you know, it's needed in the world, and you're needed in the world, and your energy and your presence and what you bring is needed. That's the hardest thing. Once you realize that and realize that you're here for a reason, I think you get over that fear or that thing. But that's the hardest thing for sure. It's a conscious everyday effort to be original and be different and be myself, you know? And not be distracted by social media and the things that I see on social media from my peers, you know?
That was a beautiful answer, and we're going to end on that. Thank you so much for your time, your dancing, your talent, your wisdom. And I look forward to seeing more of your art.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a pleasure. I can't wait to talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for listening to Dance Dad with John Corella. Thank you to everyone at Hivecast for all that you do. And if this episode meant something to you, please share it and subscribe. Also, you can follow Dance Dad with John Corella on all platforms. But most importantly, remember to be bold and be fierce.